Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our very first chapter of geography, that is understanding geography through globes and maps. As we know that in order to understand the various facts and aspects of geography, globe and map plays a vital role in understanding the subject matter. Before studying the things regarding the globe and map, we have to know what are its importance and what are its uses. As we all know that globe is a spherical model of the earth which shows the various features of the earth's surface. Only partially, mean only half part of it we can see on the globe, not the fully. But in case of map is a graphical or pictorial representation of the various features of the thing earth on a flat surface, partly or wholly. So this is the basic difference. That globe can only show the features partially or a half part of it, but in case of map we can show the whole things. We can able to see the whole things in a flat surface fully in full detail. So in this way maps are more convenient than that of the globe because it can be carried easily, it can be folded, rolled and so on, and it also gives the detailed description as compared to that of the globe. The art of drawing map is known as the cartography, as we all know that. So these are the basics regarding the globe and map and their definitions. Now next we are moving to the next heading, that is the difference between map and globe. What is map? As we have already said that map is the graphical representation of a whole part or a part of it on a flat surface, whereas globe is the three-dimensional model of the earth. A small area can be shown in detail in the map, but in case of globe it cannot be shown in detail. The whole earth can be shown at a one time, but in case of globe it cannot be shown. Maps can be easily folded, rolled or taken to any place, but globes cannot be. So these are the basic difference through which we can understand regarding the map and the globe. Now we are moving to the next heading, that is types of map. Maps can be categorized on the basis of their information they represent. With what are the information they are giving? They can be classified on the basis of scale and on the basis of purpose and content. So on the basis of scale map, we can classify them into two parts: large scale maps and small scale maps. Large scale maps are those maps which cover less area and explains them in detail, whereas in small scale it covers larger area and explains it in lesser detail. So most of the maps uses large scale and small scale as per their requirement. And on the basis of purpose, the scale map can be of three types, mainly physical maps, political maps and thematic maps. What is physical map? Physical map explains all the physical aspects of the earth's surface: mountains, plains, plateaus, valleys, etc. Whereas political maps is concerned with the national boundaries, capitals, towns, cities, which is the man-made thing. And the third one is thematic map. Thematic map describes about any specific things, such as the vegetation, climate, factors, location of industries or anything. So these are the basic types of map which is based on the purpose. So in order to understand the maps, first you have to know the basic features of a map. Otherwise we can't say it as a map. We can call it as a sketch or rough drawing or any plan. If in order to say a map is a perfect map, then this should be must in that map. First is heading or caption. What type of map you are looking? Political, physical, cultural or what? So in map you must get first point is heading. There should be exact heading of the map. Which map you are reading? Second condition is direction. In the map, the direction should be given for each or everything. For example, the river is flowing from which direction, north to south or east to west, like that. Next is scale. In order to have a complete map, scale is the most important thing. We can't say any drawing a map unless it don't have the scale. The scale is the most important essential element of the map. The next is legend or key. With the help of various symbols and colors, we demarcate various features of the earth of a map. And the last one is grid. Grid is a network of latitude and longitude. It helps us to locate the various places on the map. Now our next heading is map scale. Means what are the uses of scale in the map? So first you know what is scale. Scale is the ratio between the distance on a map to the actual distance on the ground. Means any feature on the map may be small in size, but it represents very big in the actual ground. So it is the work of a scale which demarcates the thing or makes the thing larger and bigger on a map. Scale, there are three types of scale. First one is statement scale. In statement scale, it is given in the verbal form. It should be written in the verbal form, which describes the character and features of the map. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometers. It will be given on the map. Next scale is graphical scale. Graphical scale is simply a straight line which is being divided into primary and secondary division as per the requirement of the various things on a map that we are plotting. And the third one is RF scale. RF scale means representative fraction. It shows the fraction between the distance on a map to the actual distance on the ground in the form of ratio while using various colorful things, legends. Now our next heading is directions. It is very important thing in a map to know the exact direction which we were moving or navigating or searching anything. So direction is mainly, in our case, the direction there is two things, mainly the 4 cardinal points and intermediate points. The cardinal points are east, west, north and south. East represents 90 degree, south represents 180 degree, west represents 270 degree and north represents 0 degree in any magnetic compass. You can found that. While in case of the intermediate directions, there is northeast between north and east, southeast between south and east, southwest between south and west, and northwest between north and west. So these are the cardinal and intermediate points through which we can demarcate the various things as per their direction is concerned. So next thing is, as you all know that this direction, while navigating or moving from one place to another, it is one of the most mandatory thing to have a compass with you, because without compass you can't know the exact direction which way we are moving or doing any sort of work regarding the geographical facts. Now next thing is legend. As I have said you earlier that legend is a key which is being used to demarcate various features with the help of colors, symbols. For example, green for vegetation, blue for water, yellow for cultivable land, and so on. So by using various conventional signs, we can be benefited by, or it is useful to us to understand the various features of the map, mainly the topographical maps, which you will be doing in further classes or higher classes. After that, there is grid. What is grid? As I have said you, grid is the network of latitude and longitude, which helps us in locating the various places over the Earth's surface. So it is the work of a grid which helps us to locate the various features. So what are the importance of maps? Maps can be carried easily from one place to another. With the help of scale, we can calculate the various distances on a map. With the help of index or key, we can understand about the various features on a map. For example, river. What is river? A general flowing of the water body when it meets with the main sea. Then meander. What is meander? Meander is a zigzag flow of the river. Then tributaries and distributaries means these are the sub-streams. Sub-streams which join the main river branch at their various angles. So next is delta. What is delta? A delta is a triangular deposition of sediments of a river which is being settled down before the river when it meets with the sea. Then what is block mountain? Block mountain. Due to the compressional force, there is a formation of block mortars. Due to the compression force, there is a formation of anticline and syncline. Anticline means the upper part and syncline means the lower part. Okay. Now next thing is sketches. What are sketches? There is a huge difference between a map and a sketch, because maps are drawn on the with the help of a scale, but in case of sketch we don't use scale. Means sketch is a rough drawing which is being used for a small purpose or little bit things. So this is the difference between the sketch and map. And one more thing, that is plan. As we all know that in order to do any sort of buildings or any sort of infrastructure, we need a proper plan. So while we are preparing a plan of anything, it is not a proper map, we can say, but it is a part of a map. It signifies some part of a map, but we can't say it is a sketch, because it is also being used. It is also used scale for the formation of various things. In this way, we have completed our chapter, in which we have read about what is map, what is globe, what are its importance, various features of the map, types of scales, importance of various features of map, contours, directions, legends, convergence lines, etc. Thank you. Really? As we have completed the chapter, now it's our time to discuss the question answers or exercise questions. So in order to get the part A, B and C, just go through the picture that I have uploaded in the video, and for the longer questions, just go to the WhatsApp group of class 6. Thank you.